Well, Happy New Year, Canada West. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas season and felt the presence of the Lord. We certainly have appreciated your prayers for Liddy over this last season. She has had a good Christmas and she's tolerating the chemo well, and we continue to believe that God is touching her and bringing healing. I'm not really much for New Year's resolutions, mostly because I never seem to be able to keep them. However, I read a post online on a website called Within Reach Global, and it gave 10 resolutions for missions. I think that they're challenging, good reminders for us as we strive to make Christ-like nations, disciples in the nations. That is our mission as the Church of the Nazarene and as followers of Christ. We must not lose sight of Jesus' words, as the Father has sent me, I am sending you, from John 20:21. So here's the 10. Number 1, in my quiet time, I will watch for the evidence of God's heart for the nations. So if you look for it in the Bible as you're doing your devotions, you'll find it all the way throughout the scriptures, from Abraham being a blessing to the nations in Genesis 12:1-3, all the way to the God who is worshiped by every people, tribe, and nation in Revelations 7:9-10. This is what it says. After this, I looked, and there in front of me was a huge crowd of people. They stood in front of the throne and in front of the Lamb. There were so many that no one could count them. They came from every nation, tribe, people, and language. They were wearing white robes. In their hands, they were holding palm branches. They cried out in a loud voice, salvation belongs to our God who sits on the throne. Salvation also belongs to the Lamb. Wow! Can you just get a glimpse of what that will be like? I can't wait to see Papua New Guineans standing next to Ghanaians, standing next to Sri Lankans, standing next to Canada Westians. It will be so amazing. Number 2, I will pray for missionaries by name at least one day per week. Well, for us on Canada West, that is easy. It starts with our links. The Bestres, who are now in Tonga at the Mango Tree Respite Center. And for our very own Care and Connections, the Manswells. Why not pick a day of the week and pray for one of them each of those days? That would be a great start. And then number 3, I will pray and learn about weekly the unreached people groups. Last month, I pointed you towards the Joshua Project and the app that has a daily unreached people group to pray for. Interestingly, last week there was a group called the Borgu Full Day in Canada. Did you know about them? Look it up on the Joshua Project. There are at least 700 of them in Canada. Number 4, I will learn about internationals in my community. Most places in Canada have a plethora of ethnic variety. Get to know them. We've recently become friends with 2 Indian couples, and we're connecting with them. One of them has a Circle K service station close to us and has come to our block party. And the other is my physiotherapist and his wife, and they both have recently had babies that we gave them gifts for. We're hoping that we can be friends with them. Number 5, I will intentionally get to know my international coworkers and neighbors. Invite them to your home. This is your mission field right now, where you work, the people that you spend time with. That's exactly what has been my mission field in all of my career. It was my coworkers, and God has blessed us as leading some of them to the Lord and bringing them into the church, and it was a rich harvest. Talk to them about spiritual backgrounds. Don't look down on them. Pray for them. And then number 6, I will plan to take a mission trip this year. Ooh, that sounds a little difficult. Most of us can go somewhere though, even if it is in Canada or the USA. We're planning to take a mission group to Saskatoon this year, and Sylvan Lake still needs help. Talk to me about your interest. We can find national and international opportunities for you. It will change your life. Number 7, I will listen to and read through a Great Commission lens. How about if we listen to the news with this lens? We could be praying for Ukraine, for international leaders, for victims of abuse and disasters. We could do that. Number 8, I will visit ethnic restaurants in my area to get to know internationals. Well, it's great to eat out, but how about asking to meet the owners? Get to know them, express your gratitude, tell them how much you enjoyed being there. Go regularly so you really get to know them, and then develop your friendship from there. Number 9, I will pray that my church and district pastors have a great passion for the Great Commission. If we want to have strong mission-minded churches, we need to have strong Great Commission pastors. Encourage them. Let them know what you're doing and how your heart is touched by the world around you. Pray for them and ask God to make them be mission-minded. Number 10, I will honestly consider and answer the question, is God calling me to be a full-time or part-time missionary? Every believer must ask that question. Be open to God's calling and listen to his word, his spirit, his people. Also pray for your children and your grandchildren to ask this question as well. I know that's a lot to process and promise, but just try to pick at least 1 or 2 of them and work on them this year. I have a couple of other reminders for you. Number 1 is our Canada West Compassionate Ministries promotion. We sent home prayer requests and promotion materials and quilting materials with every pastor on this district in October. I have not heard from very many churches, and we're not seeing very many funds coming in. It's not too late. The coldest weather may still be upon us, and these ministries need help to meet needs. I would like to congratulate Wapella, again, who gave $350 from a very small congregation. Riverton also gave $232.50. Winnipeg New Hope is still working on this promotion, and they're on track to give $1,000 to Siloam. I know you all have missional hearts, and that you're working in many ways in your own communities to be the hands and feet of Jesus. I've seen it locally with food hampers, with helping people over the Christmas season. But if at all possible, try to send in something for this promotion and let me know what that amount is. I know Christmas has been a time of giving for all of you, and your churches are stretched thin, but God will bless whatever you can give. Pray about it and be obedient to his leading. Heather tells me that the quilt blocks are coming in. Please get them to her ASAP so we can see the finished project and get it to one of these ministries. Thank you to Claire's Home and Sedgwick for the picks and for their completed blocks. Thank you, Linda and Donna. Number 2 reminder is our adult project. That's the Medang Training Center. And we only have 4 more months to collect funds for this project. I'm so excited about what God's doing in this brand new district. Diaz Dorame is truly on the move. He has many circuits, and they're all growing and making progress for God's kingdom. Recently, he was at the Ono circuit and celebrated the graduation of their church-sponsored school as they reach into their community. What a celebration it was. Just last week, he posted about a youth gathering where he baptized 40 young people. Don't you wish that was our report? The Medang Church was the site of their very first district assembly. I loved their video of the celebration. It was so joyful. This is the site where we'll be partnering to build the district training center. It will be a place for pastoral and lay training. Reverend Kafwa Morarar tells me that they hope to train and assist women of PNG here in many ways. Not only will they teach skills, Christian discipleship and mentoring, but they will offer assistance with legal matters that deal with abuse of women, a huge issue and problem in Papua New Guinea. Please let me know how you plan to promote this project, and I will highlight your efforts. Send pictures. I know that Sylvan Lake is going to have a big Papua New Guinea meal. They asked me for recipes, and I'd be happy to give them to you. If you want to do a meal with Papua New Guinea food, I will definitely give you recipes. Just let me know. Also, do not forget to pray for this fledgling district and for D.S. Dorame as he leads it. I do want to introduce you to Reverend Kafwa Muror. He is the Field Strategy Coordinator for the Melanesia South Pacific Field. He's a big deal. He resides in PNG when he is not traveling. He is responsible for 10 nations, as well as he has moved the Church of the Nazarene huge strides in Papua New Guinea. He has been the impetus behind seeing the membership in PNG double, as well as the giving doubling in 1 year. His plan for doing this is brilliant. He is a Fijian national and he understands the South Pacific well. He is a Harvard-trained lawyer, an ordained elder in the Church of the Nazarene with much experience, a financial wizard, and a true man of God. He is humble. His wife, Aggie, is serving as temporary DS on the North Coast District. That's where we were church planters, and Bob was the DS for 10 years. Kafwa is still the chairman of the board of Lay Christian Academy. That's the school that we started with 7 children, and Lois Malegi came to be the first principal of it. It now has 500 students, national leadership and acclaim, and outreach to the community. We're going to have an amazing opportunity to meet Kafwa on February 5th at our President's Zoom. He will be our special guest, and we will get to know this wonderful missionary. Please ask your pastor and district leaders to attend this Zoom as well. We will learn something and go away inspired. The Zoom happens at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on a Sunday afternoon. Please ask Judy Herbert to send you a link to the Zoom if you're not already on the list. I hope to see all of you there. Thanks for tuning in this week. I hope you are inspired and will be praying and seeking God's heart for the nations this week.